Yo, what's up, everybody? So, quick thing. I just want to give an update since I've been in Mexico for about 4 days now. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days now. Been in Mexico. Basically, give y'all a rundown of what's been happening, what's been my experience like so far. So, basically, essentially, once I got off the plane, once I got off the plane into Mexico City, then the school sent a representative to accompany me on the bus to Puebla, which is where the school is, and um, was talking with the representative the entire time, completely in Spanish, only use English for like 10 seconds just to show her like what Black English, African American English sounded like. Or to see if she can understand it. That's it. But the rest of the 2 hours was completely in Spanish. No real issues during the conversation. Didn't have to look up a particular word. Didn't have any issues with that. Obviously, that doesn't mean I'm not making mistakes, but that's why I'm here. But completely fluent, zero issues. Uh, yeah, she was really cute too. I'm like, ugh. Anyway, but after that, got picked up by the host family. They came, took me to the house. We were talking the whole time. Um, they were really impressed with my Spanish. It was funny. They was like, I think they said they kind of completely forgot that I was even here for Spanish. He's like, what am I even here for? I think the dad of the host family was like, he's like, what am I even here for? Like, I completely forgot that uh, you were actually supposed to be going to school. I'm thinking we're just like picking you up from like the airport just to like hang out, like just some like you family that just got here or something. Um, he completely forgot that I was supposed to be learning Spanish because they were telling me all about like Puebla, the history of the Poblano history and stuff like that, and like how there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a very historical city, so we're talking for the 30 minutes back from the airport to the house. Uh, we pull up in the house, come in, beautiful house, beautiful Castilian house. We pull up. Um, I just said, start packing up. I start talking with another gentleman who was actually the guy who was just leaving. Will, ran into him. Cool dude. Talked, gave me a lot of advice about the school, things like that. You know, um, talked in Spanish too. Didn't really talk in English. Then after that, we went to go down and get something. It's a go eat dinner with because it's like a holiday, Saint Francis Day, so we were celebrating with the host family plus friends they invited over plus the other gentleman who was accompanied Will. And after that, we ate for a while, or we talked around the dinner table for about an hour and a half. Then all in Spanish again. Then we went and the men, really everybody who wanted to, got went to the bar area where they have a bar in the house, fully stocked bar essentially, and was serving drinks. My host father was serving drinks, and we're just drinking, talking, talking about politics and all kinds of stuff. They love to talk about politics. Um, which is good for me, good for input. So I'm not really too worried about it. So it's always interesting discussion. I didn't want to be rude and disagree, leaving out on the first night. I'm like, all right, look, let me just, I'll take it in, take the input, not try to disagree or agree. Just kind of just take it in. Now I'm kind of doing that a little bit more, not in like a you're wrong kind of way, but just as to make it a more interesting discussion, you know. But yeah, spoke Spanish for like the next 3 hours after that. So it's like Spanish, completely in Spanish all day, every day. They don't speak English like at all. No one here speaks English at all. Not even nobody in Puebla, well, at least not nobody that I really ran into that wasn't a part of the school or wasn't a tourist. There's people like some younger people that are like nerds. There's some people that are like more nerdy or that really are good at English, but it's hard to know how good people are. I think my teacher, her English seems like it's really good. Um, a guide. Anyway, basically that was how my first day was. I had a really bad like headache and I was queasy. I think it was either because altitude of the bus was really bumping. I get motion sick. I can sometimes get motion sick pretty easily. So I was doing all that in Spanish for like 6 7 hours, going through orientation stuff like that. Meeting my host family all through Spanish, all through that. So that was a really interesting experience. After that, was the first day of school, which we had orientation, which was all in English. I was speaking with some people in Spanish just because people are curious, like, oh hey, I want to hear you speak Spanish. But orientation was like 2 hours, whatever, and then after that, it's just all Spanish from there. There's 8 levels in this class, so it's like level one being the lowest, level eight being the highest. I scored into level seven, and really, I think that's because there's two other people in level seven, and I have like my level is significantly higher than the two people in level seven. It's not really a it's not a bad thing. It's just that like it's quite clear that we're not exactly on the same level, but they probably didn't have anybody else for level eight. So they gave me level seven. And they say level seven is like C1, around C1. I was like, okay. Um, but like yeah, the people that I'm with, great people, super fun. Hang out with them. We go eat and stuff. But it's just like, yeah, okay. So chances are I might have been level eight, but I don't even think there's anybody that's level eight that's here. So, and my class is already only two people. So, and one's taking private classes, the other level seven. We talk too, but she's taking private classes. Um, so yeah, that's kind of how that is. Basically, we're going through all the grammar, going through all the stuff, really based on what I need. She asked me, the teacher was asking me, what do you think you need? I told her this. I need to refine some of these, like subjunctives. I need to get me use more complicated structures. I need to do this. So I told her that and going through vocabulary. So she'll play a video, or we'll talk about, like we talked about, like parrots that they're in Chiapas in the south. There's like this in the Amazon. We're talking about some of the wildlife there. We played a video and we were going through wildlife stuff and Mexican culture stuff. So that was cool. But yeah, so we're just a lot of grammar right now, going through all that. It's only day three. Then after that, we're gonna go through like actually refining it. So I'm gonna actually have some exercises planned where I'm going to be trying to bring forth some of that stuff, and really force it out and speaking with more intention. But Spanish 24/7, we're going through a very complicated subjective, like class, literally school, using all the terms, everything completely in Spanish. I feel like I'm in like a university lecture. It's kind of, even though there's two people, but the teacher's going based off of our needs. So she's taking in the my classmate needs on top of mine because there's only two people. So it's like, we got 4 hours with her, then we go for break, and then we got uh, I got 2 hours with a personal guide. And so that's just a normal college student he's just a normal college student, she, and you just walk around with me, go wherever you want to go. You want to go get something to eat, we go get something to eat. You got to pay for them though, or if you want to go do anything like that, you want to, like, we went to a museum, reptile and bird museum, essentially. And just wherever they say, hey, where do you want to go? And we just walk to where we want to go. We take a bus. You can go. You can have them go wherever you want to go. As long as it's within that 2 hours, then you're good to go. So that's what I like about this program. Just talking. We're talking at minimum 7 to 8 hours. If you factor that in, me doing 4 hours of I'm gonna walk you through a day. I wake up in the morning, make up my bed, get prepared, or get my homework, whatever I had. Go downstairs, eat with the family, eat breakfast. We talk while eating breakfast for maybe 30 minutes. Then I go to the bus stop. Usually the past couple of days I've been with my host mother who's been taking me to school. So, taking the bus to show me where they go. Now I think I got it. I'm gonna go by myself tomorrow. But she kind of walks me through, hey, where do you want to go? Where you want to do whatever. And once I go to the bus, she's talking to me, showing me things, whatever. Once we get there, I pop in there, immediately straight in Spanish, only Spanish. You have to sound like an oath, but they're not super strict on it because especially the people in like the lower levels will just speak English because they're like, my brain is about to explode. They're like A2, and I'm just like, I can't do this. I'm about to explode. So those people, they end up speaking English a lot more. All the people that are like level 5, 6 above are like, nah, we here for the longer. We trying to speak Spanish. But speaking with Spanish much, I came with people right before classes, just shooting a shiz, with people before going to classes. Go to class, like say, talk with my teacher for 4 hours. There's like a 30-minute break. Um, in between there. So it's like more like 2 hours, 30-minute break, 2 hours. Then you go get lunch. Lunch is like an hour and a half. Go get lunch. You can there's a free lunch or a lunch included. It's not free because you're paying to be here, but it's included. You can go there for free or because you've already paid. Or you can go wherever the heck you want as long as it's within that hour and a half before your guide shows up and then you meet with your guide and you go for 2 hours wherever you want. So usually I go to lunch with another person from school. We're talking completely in Spanish. Then I go with my guide. Once my guide here, then we talk completely in Spanish about everything. So it's like literally, and then once that happens, I ride the bus back to the house and talk and go eat dinner with my family and talk for like 2 or 3 more hours. It's like insane how much how much I'm talking in Spanish right now. I feel incredibly fluent at times, incredibly stupid at other times, but for the most part, I'm not really struggling. It's just as over time as you get to know people, you get to know your families, you get to know your guide, over time you just start to cover all the basic topics that you're comfortable in. You start getting into the fringes of stuff you struggle with. So as it's only been 3 days in school, 4 days with the host family, but I'm already hitting points where I'm just like struggling to say stuff like, man, like I just found out the word today. Alce is the word for moose. I think it's alce. Creo que es alce, but word for moose. I was trying to tell a crazy story about this moose that was eating carabaya, which I think is pumpkin, and carabaya, something like that. And stuff like that, or calabaza, I don't know, something like that. So you just end up running into more and more words that you don't know. So I think all this stuff's interesting, but basically, I'm just saying there's a shite load of input and output. Like just a shite load, complicated stuff. Like I'm talking with my host family 2 3 hours, and they love politics. They love U.S. culture, Mexican culture. They're very like educated. And they love to talk about just debate and just talk about stuff. And so we were just talking about the U.S. healthcare system for like 2 hours. Like that, I mean, like that's just what we're doing. And so it's kind of crazy. And like I said, no, I don't have to look things up in a dictionary. If there's like a word I don't know, I can maneuver the conversation to where I'll still be able to like explain what I'm saying. But my vocabulary is big enough where I really don't need to search for too many words except for very specific animals or something very specific. Um, but so yeah, no, man. Honestly, things are going good. I've been getting headaches, not really strong, just going like. I think it's because I'm speaking Spanish so much. I think because my brain gets like, oh, oof. I don't know, but I don't feel overwhelmed. It's more so just like I don't know if I'm just getting tired from how much I'm talking because I'm literally. It's hard to track how much you're actually talking, but it's got to be at least 2 hours a day, 3 hours, something like that. If I'm getting 8 hours of conversation, one-on-one interaction, it's got to be like 3 hours, of that. Uh, so yeah, no, it's interesting. Culture, city's great. City's really historic. So much stuff to do here. I was thinking like, oh, okay, I'm going to Puebla. I want to go to Oaxaca. I want to go to Mexico City. I want to go Veracruz. I want to go, yeah. But it's like, damn, there's so much stuff to do here in Puebla. I'm like, I don't even think I'll be able to get to the cities I was thinking about. Like that. I don't even think there's like no way. I could go horseback riding. Actually, I think I might go horseback riding. But yeah, so like that's like it's kind of crazy. I mean, now how I think this is definitely helping my Spanish. This is definitely what I needed. I don't know. I don't know if the school is challenging enough given the level I am. Considering we're talking about the topic of me being advanced and going to the school. I wouldn't say it's challenging. It's more so I'm just trying to get. It's just different. But even if the school was quote unquote easy, because it's not really easy. It's like my almost literally almost just said nivel. My level is already higher than probably what you know than definitely the anybody here that's actually learning. I'm like significantly higher than anybody here, but it's still massive given the structure of the school, given how much interaction there are, given how small the classes are. Generally, level 7 is only 2 people in it, mainly because that third person also took private classes. But also, generally, the average class size seems to be 4 to 5. Um, 6 is like the maximum it can be. I think this is also time of year where there's not a lot of tourists. Usually, they say that's more during the summer. I don't know. I don't remember, but it's still not a very touristy city. There's like no one here that speaks English. Um, no one here is going to speak to you in English. You can butcher the crap out of Spanish, and no one's going to even be able to reply to you in English, which is why I chose it. I didn't want to go to Cancun. I didn't want to go to Tulum. I didn't want to go to whatever because the level of English would have been Monterrey. Like, I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I wanted this kind of experience, just being thrown into the deep end. And for me, honestly, it's not overwhelming. It's pretty normal. Like at this point, just listening to Spanish, and it's just I don't even process it as English. I mean, I don't even process it as Spanish. It's just like pretty similar to English. You know, my comprehension. I noticed my comprehension, my ability to hear natural fast Spanish is much more developed than even my classmate, where he can understand the teacher. But sometimes if he's caught off guard, he's like, "Oh, what'd you say?" Or what'd you say?" Obviously, he's saying, "Que dijiste?" He's saying it in Spanish. Or we can only talk in Spanish in class, like only in Spanish. But he's like, he has to. She when she's talking, and she's not even talking super crazy fast. It's more so just that he might write something down and just can't process what she's saying. We're both writing it down. I hear it perfectly. He does it. So I noticed. I guess my comprehension is much more refined, especially than a lot of other students. So, but I still think it's been extremely helpful. I'm still glad that I'm still here. Like I'm in fucking Mexico, bro. That's crazy. It's crazy to say that. So it's beautiful for the most part. This obviously it's the streets are kind of fucked. The bus drivers drive like bats out of hell, like they're like a bat out of hell, essentially, or montaña rusa. You know, sometimes the architecture or some of the buildings are kind of shitty, especially outside the central. It can get kind of shitty. You know, the infrastructure stuff like that. It's not the prettiest, but the people are super cool. Haven't run into a single, haven't ran into anybody who's remotely shady. I done gave people like 3 times the money I was supposed to. You know, it'd be like some guy selling some like trinket on the street, and I'll give him way too much money, and he's like, sorry, no, here you go, too much here. I'm like, oh, thank you. He could have just walked off with all my money, and he's just like, no, this bro, there's too much. Here you go. Oh, thank you. You know, that kind of thing. So people are super dope. Haven't really like I don't know. This is fun. I finally like I'm doing like I have like an adventure, you know. So yeah, appreciate y'all for watching the video. I don't know if I rambled too much. Probably definitely did, but I think that's my kind of first impression. Oh, the food fire. Obviously, food can be fire. Is the food better than food in the U.S.? I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it's worse. I wouldn't say it's better. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like Um, most of it's on par, if not better. But some of it has been like, I've got more food to try though. So to say like, oh, all the food's way better, no, that's hype. That's pure hype. Most of it, there's a lot of fire shit out here. I'm not even gonna stop. There's a lot of fire food. Cheap too. We're talking like 30 pesos, which is I don't even know what that is in US dollars, but it ain't nothing. Trust me, it ain't nothing. So yeah, um, went to the library too. Dope. So yeah, I'm having fun. I've been going all over Mexico, not all over Puebla, with not all over, but I'm exploring the central part of Mexico pretty well. My next week we're probably planning on going to further places, um, to kind of see how that vibe is over there. You know, taking the bus going a little bit further. Got a plan to Cholula. There's another place I forget that's around the volcano. It's a volcano. There's 2 volcanoes here. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm probably gonna go there. I don't know. A lot of stuff, having fun. Appreciate y'all for watching. Gonna try not to ramble too much or too long. Peace. I don't know.